This is Sky News with Dermot Murnaghan, live from Westminster.
Good morning. This is Sky News Tonight, live from Red Square in Moscow. It's 7 o'clock. This is Sky News Tonight, live from Downing Street. A very good evening from Washington, the capital of a nation divided. Good morning and welcome to Murnaghan. Coming up, 2 hours of agenda-setting interviews from our studios here in the heart of Westminster.
With an air of easy authority, the voice that broke the news that wasn't always easy to take was so often that of Dermot Murnaghan.
We have reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident and that her partner, Dodi Fayed, has also been killed.
Calm credibility is the prerequisite in these moments, and Dermot had it in spades.
We have some very important news. Buckingham Palace has just announced that Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II has died. She was 96 years old. She was the longest reigning monarch in British history and the world's oldest head of state. Her eldest son and heir, Charles, the former Prince of Wales, is now the King.
One of Dermot's great strengths was his ability to stay remarkably calm and lucid under intense pressure. Various rumours had been circling throughout the afternoon that the Queen had died. He'd have heard in his earpiece, "Break the news, Dermot," and he did it brilliantly, ahead of everyone else as it happens. And that was classic Dermot, calm, precise, caught the mood of the country dead right, got the tone right.
Working on some of these big historic moments with Dermot, you could see the high standards he set himself. It was a global audience watching. You know, he wanted to get it right, not just for people watching at home who would be stopping what they were doing, turning on their television, perhaps in tears watching, but also for the team at Sky. This was years in the planning, and Dermot knew he had to get it right for them as well. This ability to communicate, to be the eyes, the person who was there. He had to feel that moment and explain that to people at home, and he did it so well.
With a journalistic career that had its grounding in local newspapers, Dermot went on to work for all the country's major news broadcasters. He began at ITN with appearances on Channel 4 News and News at 10, a high-profile beginning to a high-profile broadcasting career.
We've got a poll this morning in today's Independent which is saying, and very good morning to you, I should say, which is...
Thank you. Now you're about to ruin it, are you?
In the early 2000s, Dermot embraced the more relaxed format of breakfast television with the BBC.
OK, have a stretch of that. Now, Phil, you can get into that. That is a small...
I could get into that.
No, not you, but...
But the challenge of rolling news awaited at Sky News, a challenge he relished, becoming a key face of the channel.
Initially, Dermot found the pace of non-stop news quite a surprise and quite a shock to his system. But he was an agile guy with a very formidable brain. And so after the sort of first programme, he understood the speed at which he had to react. And he did that really well.
Good morning and welcome to Murnaghan, live from Westminster.
His Sunday morning politics programme drew all the big names. His interview style, not hectoring or showily combative.
Doing things that use a lot more electricity than many household chores.
Sounds like Tracy Island then. You've got banks of
you're doing the
computers.
same thing.
But precise and exacting.
I don't think you're being terribly fair. Your
So
viewers can make their own
until
decision.
you get the party line right. OK, well, we'll have to end it there. As Shadow Business Secretary, thank you very much indeed.
In his own way, he took no prisoners.
Why do sections of the very party that you devoted your political life and soul to, why do they hate you so fundamentally?
I don't know.
As an interviewer, he was very precise. He was, he knew the brilliance of the short question, straight to the point, very clear, very much, you felt he was on the viewer's side. You always knew he was asking the questions people wanted asked. He did it very calmly, very well, very precisely, and often he'd sort of get you with just a very short question, no flannel, didn't give you lots of time to think, and that's a pretty good skill.
In the late 90s, he won a Royal Television Society award for putting Peter Mandelson on the spot over his mortgage arrangements.
When
In
one
this
borrows
case,
from the bank or a building society, there's a section to fill in, I'm sure you're aware of, which asks you about any outstanding debts. Did you put in £370,000 from Mr. Robinson in that
I can
column?
assure you that I have filled in all my forms.
What Dermot brought to this craft of journalism was pinpoint accuracy. He was hugely conscientious, which brought out the detail of stories, and he was utterly fearless with politicians, however erudite and articulate they were. He absolutely believed in holding authority to account.
His interviewing skill was widely acknowledged, not least by that former sparring partner and Prime Minister who came unstuck when probed about his favourite football team.
I know it's not the most important issue, but if your team has won the European Cup only once and you support it, you'd know when it was, wouldn't you?
Yes, but I don't want to...
Do you know when it was?
It was early 80s. I'm not going to give you a date because I'll get it wrong.
And one goal, and you know who scored it?
You're wasting your precious interview time.
OK, it must be, and it is, it's Peter With.
I'd got myself into a terrible mess by misspeaking in the middle of the 2015 election. And so he challenged me on, when did Villa win the Champions League? And I knew the date, but I just didn't want to get it wrong. I was thinking, so I wouldn't answer. I said it was in the early 80s, and I didn't answer the question. And he just kept going. And I think eventually I said, look, you're using up valuable interview time here. But it was very precise, and he had that sort of smile on his face while he was doing it. It was I remember, uncomfortable for me, but I guess there were lots of people out there who wanted to know whether I knew the answer.
Not so fast. Sky News here. With me, Dermot Murnaghan.
But this serious broadcaster never took himself too seriously.
Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain.
Grabbing any opportunity to throw off the straitjacket of news, whether with comedy sketches or quiz shows.
When you cycle around the Cadbury site here in Keynsham, you get a real sense of just how embedded in the local community it has all become.
Cycling was his love and joy, with many an hour spent battling the climbs of this country and his beloved Ireland, where his family had a home.
I've got a fundraising page, which I know you're going to put up there.
But the real battle was with prostate cancer, and it was a grim one. Untested and undiagnosed until well into his 60s, he was eventually told he had stage 4 cancer.
I fell very ill on a foreign holiday, and kind of rushed back here to get treated by a wonderful health service, and was diagnosed, real bolt from the blue.
With fellow sufferers like Sir Chris Hoy and later David Cameron, he spoke out to warn others and to call for a national screening programme.
Look at the benefit to catching someone like Chris or me earlier on in the diagnosis.
I think it's really important that Dermot came out in the way that he did. As in his broadcasting life, he did it with incredible clarity and just simplicity. He just said to people, I wish I had had it, I should have done it, you should get it. Don't make my mistake. It was incredibly clear, and someone who was so well known to people through his broadcasting career over 40 years, it will have had a huge impact. He will have saved people's lives because people would have heard him say that. They'd think, okay, I won't put off the PSA test, I'll go and ask for one, I'll ask my doctor. And I think it was brilliant that he came out when he did, that he spoke so clearly, and he would have saved lives.
There was a bravery in adversity that characterised the man.
I think we as men have got to start saying we've got to be seen as human beings who may die of this thing.
There was a committee, and a very learned committee, deciding whether there should be a national screening programme for prostate cancer, who just recently reported and said they'll widen the doors, the gates ever so slightly, but they don't think there should be a national one. I know you followed that. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
I love Dermot's company. He didn't say very much, but when he did chat, what he said was golden, insightful and clear and on the money. And what I really liked about him, that's why he was a good journalist, is he didn't like authority, and he wasn't shy of showing it.
I want to say thanks to you all for putting up with me and supporting me so resolutely through elections, resigning prime ministers and monarchs' funerals.
Dermot Murnaghan, a consummate broadcaster, a voice of our times, a husband, a father, a friend to so many, taken from us so cruelly soon.
You stay classy, planet Earth. Goodbye.